single day. I'm gonna make some.
Hey guys, Gina Ortiz here. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about validation. Validation from someone or something outside of yourself. This is huge, and honestly, this is something that I get like super excited about because I personally struggle so much with this one, and still sometimes, again, anything that I share with you guys, for the most part, I'm still working through or towards, but I have made so many strides that I have to share my progress with you. So, outside validation. This is, I talked about in one of my episodes actually, being able to get outside of the people that you spend most of your time with, right? Because so many of them have the same thought patterns that have kept you trapped for this long. Because for the most part, you guys have learned and adapted to them in the same way. So it's huge for you to recognize that when you are trying to change your thoughts and change your thought patterns, you more likely than not are going to have to move away from the people who have thought like you for this long. And I don't mean move away from them like you can't be friends or things like that, but I mean move away like expand your circle, broaden your horizon, get around people who think differently than how you have thought before. Because if you look for the people that you've always looked to validate you, they are going to. Because they are so tied to their belief system. And let me take that back. They might, but more likely than not, they're not going to. Certainly not initially, right? And so it's best for you to kind of explore that chapter by yourself, recognizing that you aren't going to be able to seek their approval. And, or if you do seek their approval, you likely are not going to get what you had in mind or what you were looking for. And the reason for that is because they are so tied to their belief system, to their thought processes that, again, that they have acquired from other people, from family, from tradition, from ancestral, lineage and so forth. So they are going to respond in a manner that is going to be very different than what you want to receive, right? And this is why as you're going through that journey and that process, you feel so completely isolated, right? And that's okay, because it's understanding that there's people like myself, like yourself, like us who are looking for a higher level of consciousness, who are out there, right? And it's, everyone has a process, everyone has a journey, everyone moves through it very differently. And so it's not about judging them at all, or, making reasons for why they're, doing whatever they're doing. It's really not about them at all. It's all about you and your growth and your healing. And so as a part of that, it's basically an ask of you by God, source, the universe, to trust in yourself. Because too many times we try to seek the answers from someone else, or we want our friend to agree, or our family to agree on our choices. And that's why this is a big one. Like, you have to be able to accept all of yourself, all of your choices, all of your thoughts and your feelings, without needing someone else to tell you it's okay. And parents, I think, probably have this, have it so embedded in them, like to the point where I know a lot of moms who just feel like they can't even go get their nails done, without feeling bad or feeling guilty. And really almost look for, their husband or their significant other to kind of say, hey, it's okay, like, you deserve this, which is great, because most of them are, in a relationship where they get that. But it's like, they need to know, you need to know for you, like, it's okay. You know, like your kids, maybe, and if your kids are little, they won't know or probably even be able to appreciate this right now. But eventually they will, right? Because your kids are observers, you know, like they are constantly watching you. They're constantly looking and mimicking you and how you behave. And so they then learn how to operate as adults by watching how you operate, right? And so the last thing I know any of us would ever want is for our kids to feel like they can't go get a haircut or go get their nails done or do anything that makes them happy without the approval of someone else, right? We would tell them, no, go do that, go, you know, get that and be happy. And, you know, like that's all we really want, right? For our kids. So it's like, it's so important for us to give ourselves that same level of nutrients, right? Because they're going to see that and we want them to adapt those same positive behaviors. The other thing too is when we are looking for outside validation, we're never really aligned with our soul, with our soul's vision for us, with our soul's purpose. We always feel kind of out of sync. You know, it's kind of like our soundtrack doesn't match our movie, if that makes sense. Like we feel like we have these thoughts going on in our head, but we're really more like, well, I don't really want to do that. Or, you know, like it's not, something isn't right about it, right? Like I want to get my nails done, but I should stay here with the kids, you know, something like that, right? And here's the thing, should, like stop shoulding yourself. I did not say the other SH word. I said shoulding, okay? Because it is like literally the most plaguing thing you could possibly do to yourself. For the main reason that when you are saying like, I should have done this or I should have done that, you are completely separating yourself from what is going on right now, right? So let's say you are like, I need to go to the post office. I need to, you know, return these shoes. I need to go pay this bill, right? Let's be honest, most bills should be paid online, but I know there's some of you out there who still do it differently. So all blessings to you, no judgment here, but just saying, there is an online thing that works and does exist. But okay, let's say you're going somewhere where they don't have online capability, right? Like, I don't know. And so you have these plans to do this, right? And then something else occurs that you feel like you should be doing that. Maybe it's your day to cook cupcakes for the class. I don't know, you know, something, right? And then you say, okay, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to cook the cupcakes. And then you end up not doing the things that were on your list as high priority items to do, right? And so you're like, man, I should have done that. I should have done this. I know some of you know this. And this is huge, especially in dieting and exercise. That's probably a whole nother video. But when I was on my dieting and exercise routine, like I did this a lot. I did a lot of shitting on myself and I didn't get anything done. Okay. And so this is why you need to be mindful of when you start to do that, so you can change the behavior associated with it. Because it's almost like it's a double whammy, if you will. Like you're not doing the thing that you wanted to do or needed to do, and then you're not doing what you're trying to do right now because you're so focused on what you didn't do. So then you don't even really get to enjoy or appreciate either of the things, right? Because you're beating yourself up the whole time, you know, so it just ends up being just a ridiculous thing that's happening that you don't deserve and is completely unnecessary. So what you should, right, is look at the present moment. And if you didn't do something that you felt needed to be done, move forward. Don't worry about what should have happened, because should doesn't even exist anymore. How you change this behavior is what I want to say, is by looking in the future, looking ahead, and making a decision to do these things. And then making another decision that if you decide to change the priority of those items, that you're not going to beat yourself up, right? You're going to accept that you made that change, that you made a different decision, and that you are going to stand by that decision, right? And that's really what's the most important thing. The most important thing is for you to love and appreciate your process, what it is you're doing, and being able to get things off that to-do list without having regret or guilt or anything along those lines, because all those things create stagnation and eliminate your ability to be productive. So it's so important that you stop shitting yourself. I know I just went on a total tangent about shitting, but since it came up, I think it's so necessary. Use words like I can, I will, and remove all of the shoulds. Because once you start to do that, you will make a conscious effort to just do, to just act, and stop living in the past of what if you would have done something differently, then the result would have been different, or whatever it is you're beating yourself up about. Make a conscious decision that, you know what, I'm not gonna work on this website. I am going to go to church, or I'm going to whatever it is, I'm going to go to the social gathering, but don't beat yourself up about it. Just say, no, I made that decision and I was proud of that decision and I'm moving forward, right? And usually the shoulds come in because this is how it ties back into outside validation, because we have some sort of belief that tells us that we should be doing it this way, because if we don't, someone is going to be upset, or you're not going to get, the desired outcome or the result or whatever, it may be, or somebody may look at you, look down on you, or look at you differently, or whatever the case may be, right? And let me just say this, you can't mind read other people, okay? You have to just own and be comfortable with your choices and decisions. And a huge part of that is removing your own negativity and beliefs that really, when you're doing that, the shitting, you're judging yourself. And usually that means we judge other people too, right? And so it's like, that should be a call out to you to say, okay, let me have some more compassion for myself. Let me offer myself more empathy. Let me make a different choice. Let me make a different decision so that I can be proud of myself after the fact, right? So in a situation where you've already prioritized, hey, these are the 4 things I'm going to do today, and then you have something arise where someone is asking you, hey, can you do this for me today? For example, whatever it is, go buy this pizza for the kids, I don't know why I'm so stuck on kids right now, but that's just what's on my mind. So you say, go buy the pizza for the kids. Now, because you have these 4 things prioritized, and you've already decided that you are going to feel accomplished, you're going to feel successful, whatever it is, you're going to feel a positive emotion once you get these things done. You can now choose to tell this person, no, today I'm not going to be able to do that. Or you could choose to say, you know what? I can remove item 3, replace it with this, do item 3 tomorrow, and still be happy about what I've accomplished and not should myself to death today, right? So, just little simple things like that you can implement. To kind of wrap up the whole outside validation, this journey of thought, of spiritual awakening, of whatever it is for you, is all about being able to accept yourself fully. And a lot of that means removing the codependency, the transactional love, the way we have learned to understand that relationships should exist, and be able to bring in your own beliefs, your own thought patterns, your new thought patterns about what you want to consciously think and what you want to consciously believe. You don't have to be strapped in by the limiting beliefs that you have today. Like, you can choose to believe whatever it is you want, whatever it is that serves you. So when you get in a place of pain or discomfort, ask yourself, what are you thinking? What's creating that pain? What's creating that place of discomfort? And ask yourself, is there another thought? Is there another idea that I could create that would allow me to move through this situation in a more productive manner, right? Because we've all been programmed in one way or another. So now it's just really about, can I reprogram my mind to allow me to have healthier outcomes, or even to have a healthier experience before I even know what the outcome is, right? So I hope that helped. Again, the only validation you need is the validation within you, your heart, your soul. It's here with purpose and reason, and it already knows it. I love you guys. Namaste.